Hi, Precious Heart. Thank you for joining us for our weekly vlog. The Company of Heaven has been informing us that a vitally important facet of the unfolding divine plan for 2019 is for lightworkers to help the masses of humanity to comprehend what the oneness of all life truly means for each of us personally and all of us collectively. When this reality registers in every person's conscious mind, they will realize that it is self-destructive for a person to inflict harm on any other person, place, condition, or thing for their own personal gain. With this awareness, people will understand how counterproductive that behavior is, and hopefully they will no longer be willing to deliberately wreak the havoc in their own life that results from such negative actions. Once people accept the fact that they are one with all life, they will realize that every thought, feeling, word, or action they express that is based in a consciousness of divine love, oneness, and reverence for all life will be a blessing not only for themselves, but also for their loved ones and all life evolving on this planet. When we truly comprehend that the law of the circle is a universal law that we are all subject to, the things occurring in our lives will begin to make more sense. We are not the victims of circumstance. We are the co-creators of our lives. We have free will, and our faculties of thought and feeling are creative. If we do not like the way things are going, by remembering that we are beloved sons and daughters of God, and that whatever we are thinking, feeling, saying, and doing is affecting our life and the lives of those around us, we will be motivated to change our course of action. The law of the circle is instrumental in determining the various things that are taking place in our lives, both the positive things and the challenging things. Today, the beings of light are striving to inspire us to be more committed and more disciplined in the ways we choose to use our precious gift of life and our creative faculties of thought and feeling. It helps to understand that for every person abiding on earth, the law of the circle is like the law of gravity. Even though we may not understand the laws of physics or comprehend just how gravity works, we are all subject to it just the same. It is immaterial whether or not we believe in gravity. If we jump off of a roof, we are going to fall to the ground. It is just that simple. The law of the circle is like the law of gravity, and we are all subject to it whether we believe in it or not. Every single thought, feeling, word, and action we express goes out into the world on an electromagnetic current of energy, like a radio or television wave. Then it returns to us in divine timing through our everyday life experiences. This is happening scientifically to the letter with every breath we take. Everything that is causing pain and suffering in our life is a human miscreation. These challenging things are not being returned to us through the law of the circle to punish us. They are being returned to give us the opportunity to experience the results of our actions, so we can transmute back into light this precious electronic light substance that we misqualified at one time or another. The negative things that are occurring in our daily life were either deliberately or inadvertently created during our earthly sojourns, when we made the free will choice to express our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions in ways that were not based in love. During this vitally important time on earth, you and I and the rest of humanity are awakening at a pace that has never before been available to the masses. our I Am presence is taking dominion of our life, and we are beginning to intuitively remember who we are and why we are here. We volunteered to be on Earth at this time to assist with the monumental event of Earth's ascension, which we are now experiencing. In 2019, due to the urgency of the hour, our Father, Mother God, and the Company of Heaven are encouraging all of us to redouble our efforts. This means that we are being called to a higher octave of divine service. The Company of Heaven told us that humanity's comprehension of the law of the circle and the oneness of all life is critical to the fulfillment of the divine plan for 2019. So today they want to remind us of how our Father, Mother God intended for the law of the circle to work in our life while we were fulfilling missions of learning to become co-creators in the physical plane of Earth. At this point in our evolutionary process, we are so used to dealing with the pain and suffering in our individual and collective lives that it is difficult for us to fathom that there was ever a time when these horrific things didn't exist. But there was such a time, prior to our fall from grace. In the beginning, the law of the circle was always a joyous experience, and it functioned as God intended. Moment by moment, our I Am presence gratefully received our life force from our Father, Mother God, and breathed this intelligent electronic light substance through our crown chakra into our heart flame. Once this intelligent light entered the divinity within our immortal victorious threefold flame, it was stamped with our individual electronic light pattern. This electronic light pattern is unique for every child of God, and it is given to us at our inception by our godparents. This unique pattern is how the universe knows what energy belongs to whom, and it is how the law of the circle is flawlessly accomplished for every son and daughter of God. Once our life force was imprinted with our individual pattern, the atomic and subatomic particles and waves of energy contained within that gift of life were available for us to use as we went about the business of our daily life, learning to become co-creators with our God parents. We would observe the patterns of perfection in the causal body of God, and then through our unique ways of thinking and feeling, we would combine those patterns in previously unknown ways to create new patterns of perfection. Since we had not yet created any painful human miscreations, we were able to focus our attention exclusively on expanding the patterns of heaven on earth as our Father, Mother God intended. With every thought, feeling, word, or action we expressed, our life force flowed forth from us on an electromagnetic current of energy very similar to the way radio and television waves pass through the atmosphere. Our current of energy reverberated with whatever positive frequency of vibration we charged it with at the time. As our energy traveled to its destination, it accumulated other energy along the way that was vibrating at the same positive frequency. Like attracts like. For instance, if we were sending love to someone, our electromagnetic current of love magnetized other currents of love to itself as it traveled through the atmosphere. By the time our love reached its destination, it was vibrating at a much more powerful frequency of love than we originally sent out. When our current of love entered the energy field of the person we were thinking of, it blessed him or her in ways that were in alignment with their divine plan. Then this loving expression of energy was magnetized back to its identical electronic pattern, which was pulsating in our heart flame. On the return journey, our current of energy once again accumulated additional frequencies of love. After entering our heart flame and blessing us with much more love than we had originally sent out, our facet of life force returned to our Father, Mother, God, thus completing the law of the circle. The first phase of our life force's journey is called involution. The involution of our life force begins in the heart of God, then passes through our heart flame, and culminates when our life force reaches the furthest point of its destination in the physical world of form. After this intelligent electronic light substance completes the path of involution, it must then return to our Father, Mother, God, the source of all that is. The return phase of its journey is called evolution. Involution and evolution are the activities of light that reflect the out-breath and the in-breath of our Father, Mother, God. In other words, the law of the circle. When our life force is qualified positively, this process works perfectly. If, however, we charge the intelligent electronic light from our life force with negative thoughts, feelings, words, and actions, everything changes. The important things the beings of light want us to contemplate this week is the fact that when the intelligent electronic light substance from our gift of life returns to us on its evolutionary journey, it can only pass through our heart flame and return to our Father, Mother, God if it is vibrating with the same or a higher frequency of light than when we originally received it. The energy we release with our negative thoughts, feelings, words, and actions is discordant and chaotic. Due to the accumulation of additional negative energy on their involutionary and evolutionary journey back to our heart flame, our negative thoughts, feelings, words, and actions return to us greatly magnified over what we originally sent out. Consequently, this misqualified energy cannot return to God. Instead, this negative energy remains in our energy field, magnetizing more negativity to itself until we choose to flood it with enough light to transmute it back into its original perfection. Only then can this facet of our life force complete the law of the circle and return to our Father, Mother, God. This truth will help you see the bigger picture of why there is so much pain and suffering in the world. With that knowing, I want to remind you that the violet flame of God's infinite perfection will be the predominant light bathing the earth through the 2100-year cycle of the age of Aquarius, which we have now entered. This violet flame is the most powerful frequency of light in all creation to transmute our misqualified energy back into its original perfection. This week, the Company of Heaven is encouraging all of us to pay attention to how many times every single day we obliviously use the precious gift of our intelligent life force to empower thoughts, feelings, words, and actions that are negative and not based in love. They said this will give each of us a glimpse of how important the information is that has been shared with us today if we want to improve the quality of our life. The beings of light indicated that the vast majority of us are going to be shocked by what we observe. God bless you, dear one. I look forward to being with you next week.